welcome and welcome and welcome everybody here today. I'm speaking on the behalf of Pasquale and Megan, and how grateful they are to have you all here today, coming from long distances, short distances, all over the place. And it's a true welcome. So please give yourselves a hand for being here today, my friend. Please. But what a marriage does, and this is what I'm new at, I see, it brings all of us together. And it brings people that from different parts of the world and different parts of the life. And we get a chance to be in a small room and we get a chance to be together, man. Now, these guys they met in college, but they met the last week of college. Go figure, they go 4 years to Yale University, and at the very last week or somewhere towards the end, these two meet. I don't understand it. What the hell were you looking at, man? All right? Then after graduation, they both went their own ways. Megan went back to California, Pasquale back to Montreal, but then something happened. And what happened was Megan has a friend and says, "Hey, Meg, I'm going to Montreal. Would you like to come join me?" And I've known Megan since she was 3. That deceitful mind of hers said, "You know what? Yeah, I think I'd like to go," but she had different alternatives, I think. So Megan arrived and sent a text out to Pasquale and said, "Hey, Pasquale, you said, hey, I'd like to know of some nice dinner places around here." Hint, hint. And Pasquale, being the smart goalie hockey player that he is, instead of saying, "Why don't I take you?" he texted you back about 10 options to go to dinner, right? Yeah. So Megan, being the aggressive basketball player she is, she was going to take that for an answer and said, "Well, hey, why don't you go with me, Pasquale?" Pasquale absolutely took that on and said, "Let's do it." And they both admit in the time we met that they thought, you know what, if that weekend never happened, we probably wouldn't be sitting here today.
Even though I am 6 years older than Meg, we have always been very, very close. She is not only my sister, but also my best friend. There's a quote I found when writing this speech that I think perfectly sums up our relationship as sisters. The quote reads, "That's the best thing about little sisters." Wow, that took 5 seconds. They spend so much time wishing they were elder sisters that in the end, they're far wiser than the elder ones could ever be. And this could not be more true. There's a photo Meg posted on Facebook years ago. Her college basketball teammates are very familiar with this one. It's a picture Meg took of herself standing in front of the mirror in her room. She has a purple cast on one arm, and the other one is throwing up a peace sign. The caption says, "Some people say I look just like my sister." It's actually the very first photo Meg ever posted on Facebook, so if you want to go check that out. I tell this story because it echoes the quote sentiment and what I find so special about my relationship with Meg, which is that, in fact, I have always looked up to and admired her. Meg sat and watched every single basketball game I played in. She would run out at every timeout and halftime with her basketball to show off her skills. Her halftime show became the highlight of my high school games, as she was better than most of my teammates. No offense, Kathleen. She even volunteered to be our water girl my senior year, just wanting to be a part of the team. After waiting her turn on the sidelines, it was her turn to shine, and she really did, rubbing it in my face and earning herself a spot at Yale. I remember getting the call from my dad when she was on her official visit there. He let me know that despite 2 other great opportunities in California, she was going to Yale. Still crying, but I began crying immediately. I was filled with pride, but couldn't imagine how I was going to handle having my best friend live across the country for 4 years. Well, thank God you did. Because that was exactly where you're supposed to be. She ended up being exactly where she was supposed to be for many reasons, and one of the reasons was to meet her future husband Pasquale, aka Spano, or Spanini to me. Meg and Spano met right before senior year ended, which transitioned into a long-distance relationship. I really got to know Spano when I moved in with Meg in Austin. The two of them FaceTimed quite often, so he quickly became our third roommate. We'd take him to pre-games with us, he'd eat with us, he'd cook with us. You name it, Spano was virtually there. The two of them dedicated a lot of time and displayed a lot of patience in making their relationship work, and I knew they had something special. They're a perfect match, each other's best friends, and I could not be happier to be celebrating your love today. Thankfully not through FaceTime either. Let's all raise a glass to the beautiful couple, Meg and Spano.
Felt the weight of what I'm saying, love, with your hands held in mine. And everywhere you are, you before me, you stand with your hands held in mine. You're on a long road, leading back where I know I felt your hand held in mine. But as the wind blows, another story is told. I see your hands far from mine. Well, sometimes it's hard to find anchor through the waves, but return to me. What's after what we know? Slipping through a window, felt your hands, golden mine. But after what we had, I know you understand. I need your hands held in mine. Sometimes it's hard to find anchor through the waves. Let down, you in darkness fell. Let light guide away. And return to me.
I was looking at what are the most two important stats in sports. When it comes to a marriage isn't a game. Marriage is life. And the two most important stats are defense and assists in this marriage. You will constantly defend her. You will defend her no matter what. And Megan, you'll defend him in the defense. You don't get a whole lot of love and publicity for playing defense. It just is there. And the second biggest stat, I think, is assists. You assist him in his life and where he's going, and you assist him in the love he has for his family, and you assist him with all these people. And likewise, you assist her every time she comes home, and you assist her in telling her, how can I help you? How can I be of service? How can I be of service? And if we have those two stats, then the wins come. The wins come. The wins come.
There is no rhyme or reason why. The less it makes sense, the more we try.
You have known each other from the first glance of acquaintance to this point of commitment. At some point, you decided to marry. From that moment of yes to this moment of yes, indeed, you've been making promises and agreements in an informal way. All those conversations that were held riding in a car, over a meal, or during long walks, all those sentences that began with, "when we're married," and continued with, "I will," and "you will," and "we will." Those late night talks that included "someday," "somehow," and "maybe." And all those promises that are unspoken matters of the heart. All these common things and more are the real process of a wedding. The symbolic vows that you're about to make are a way of saying to one another, you know, all those things we've promised and hoped and dreamed, well, I meant it all, every word. Look at one another and remember this moment in time. Before this moment, you've been many things to one another: acquaintance, friend, companion, lover, dancing partner, and even teacher, for you've learned much from one another in these last few years. Now you shall say a few words that take you across the threshold of life, and things will never quite be the same for you. For after these vows, you shall say to the world, "This is my husband, and this is my wife."
Like any modern day romance, Pat and I met through a mutual friend, Jake. Pat and his family, they invited both Jake, myself, over to their house in Montreal, welcomed me into their home. They didn't know who I was, but they just basically welcomed me. The Montreal Italian, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Montreal Italian, but they're very welcoming. They fed me. They let me, sleep in Georgie's bed. Georgie. We went to high school together. We were next door neighbors our senior year of high school in the dorms. Saw each other every summer, went training, both attended Yale for 4 years of hockey, played together there. We actually played a year pro hockey together once we graduated. And they actually, both Meg and Pat, bought a home recently, and they live about 5 minutes away from my girlfriend and I, Mal, in Florida. So simply put, the guy won't leave me alone. He continues to follow me around all over the country. I can't seem to shake him, so. But Meg and Pat, it's an honor to be here standing in front of this room of people who all love you very much. So I know a lot of people are here from all over the world, all over the country, Florida, Montreal, Texas, obviously California. It's pretty amazing how far people will actually travel for an open bar. So thanks. Thank you for that. But on a more serious note, I want to thank everyone who came out today and celebrating this special day, because it really means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to the newlyweds, so I want to say thank you to that. Meg, you look incredible today. You look beautiful. Still unsure. Yeah. I'm still unsure how you manage traveling all over around the world, dealing with stubborn Pat, and leaving his dirty dishes everywhere. Yep, I know exactly what that's like. So Meg and I actually met before Pat ever knew about Meg. Meg and I were in Silliman College together at Yale. We were actually SILA-SIBs, which in a way is basically just a small academic advisory group where we meet once a week and talk about academics and definitely not athletics. What I said at the beginning of my speech rings very true. There comes a time in everyone's life when they meet someone that changes their life for the better. And for that person, for Pat, it's Meg. So I couldn't be more happy for you guys. I love you guys. I wish you guys nothing but the best moving forward. So thank you very much. Sorry about that.
You steal my breath
I get choked up, you see right through. I'm such a mess, made for your love. I fold into you. In your arms, it's only just us two. I'm dreaming of you, babe. The way you are, your patient heart, it always gives me grace. Swear I haven't felt this way since I can't remember when. But it's paradise, it must be what it's like to love again. Every time I close my
One of the wonderful things about meeting Pasquale is the fact that I now have two wonderful people, as well as their sons. That's Frank and Mary Spano. Eric and George, we just love you guys. You're just incredible. The whole Petticelli clan that's here. I learned about what an Italian meal was like. Oh my God, I felt like I had to run a freaking marathon after it. But we're looking at so much for years and years of getting together. You guys are an incredible family. We're so blessed. And you've done an amazing job raising... Shit. Dang! Ice Cube! Raising this guy. I mean, he's... And by the way, Sean, where's Sean? You finally freaking got a little brother. Okay? In 2013, Meg's on the recruiting trail, goes to Yale, does wonderful... And at the very end of her graduation, she's at a restaurant. We're at a restaurant called Amigos. And we're sitting there, and we noticed this guy. He's got a long beard. I thought he's auditioning for Duck Dynasty, ZZ Top, or he was New Haven's newest homeless. And Megan, so Kelly goes over to Megan and goes over to Pasquale and goes, "Do you know Megan?" And he nods. Goes, "Do you like Megan?" And if you know my wife, eharmony.com as we affectionately call her, she goes, "Have you kissed Megan?" And he nods, yes. So off to the races, they graduate. You heard the story from Denny. They meet up in Montreal, and then basically he comes down to California. I knew they were going to be a big item, and it's just been nothing but wonderful thing. Megs, you're going to be an incredible mom. You're going to be an incredible wife. Pasquale, amazing, husband, amazing father. I think the biggest disagreement you two are going to have is which one is going to be on the hardwood floor or is going to be on the ice rink. So, Megs, you hit your biggest three-point shot meeting this guy. You made your biggest goalie save ever meeting this young lady. My advice is keep your, as far as your marriage, keep your God, Kelly, I swear, keep God in your faith in the middle of your marriage at all times. You're going to laugh, you're going to have disagreements, but just love each other, just like we have, Kelly and I, for 34 years. Obviously, I'm not doing too well right now, but I'm gonna hear this for a long time. But I have 5 words of advice for you. Honey, you're right. I'm wrong. And you'll be a long, long time. Anyway, here's to Mr. and Mrs. Spano. Sorry about the long speech.
I don't want to